Elias Mercer didn't believe in ghost stories. He was a quiet man in his 30s, recently divorced, desperate for a cheap place to live. So when he found an abandoned farmhouse on the edge of Black Hollow for almost nothing, he bought it without hesitation. The locals avoided the place, not because it looked haunted, but because of what happened there 30 years ago. A family of 4 vanished inside that house overnight. No bodies, no signs of struggle. Only deep scratch marks beneath the wooden floors, as if something had tried to claw its way out. But Elias didn't care. A house was a house. The first few nights were normal, quiet, cold, still, until the knocking began. 3 slow knocks, directly beneath his bedroom floor. Knock, knock, knock. Elias froze. He waited for another sound. Nothing. He convinced himself it was old pipes or rats in the walls. But the next night, it happened again. Knock, knock, knock. This time, it sounded closer, almost deliberate. Elias grabbed a flashlight and searched the house. Every room was empty, every door locked. But when he returned to the bedroom, there were muddy footprints beside his bed. Small footprints, like a child's, leading directly to the floorboards. That night, Elias didn't sleep. At exactly 3:13 a.m., the knocking returned. Only now, there was a voice, soft, weak. Please let me out. Elias stumbled backward in horror. The voice sounded like a little girl. Please, it whispered again. He's coming back. The floor beneath Elias creaked violently. Then, silence. The next morning, Elias drove into town and asked about the house. An old woman at the diner turned pale when he mentioned it. She told him the story no one else would. 30 years ago, a man named Walter Graves lived there with his family. People said he changed after losing his job. He became withdrawn, violent. One winter night, neighbors heard screaming from the farmhouse, but nobody went inside. The next morning, the family was gone. Walter too. But weeks later, children from the town claimed they could hear crying beneath the floors. The police ripped the house apart. They found nothing except one thing: a locked wooden door beneath the kitchen, nailed shut from the outside. Elias laughed nervously. There's no basement in that house. The old woman looked him dead in the eyes. There wasn't supposed to be. That night, Elias returned home shaken. He told himself he'd leave in the morning. But at 3:13 a.m., knock, knock, knock. This time the entire house trembled. The voice returned, crying, "He knows you can hear me." Then came another voice, deep, wet, inhuman. "Open the door." Something slammed beneath the floor, hard enough to crack the wood. Elias ran for the kitchen, and there, beneath an old rug, he found iron handles hidden in the floorboards. A door. His hands trembled as he pulled it open. A rotten staircase descended into darkness. The smell was unbearable. And from below, breathing, slow, heavy, waiting. Elias should have run, but the crying continued. So he descended, step by step, into the black. At the bottom was a tiny dirt room. Chains hung from the walls. Children's toys scattered across the floor. And in the corner, a little girl sat curled up, pale and trembling. She looked up slowly, her mouth stitched shut. Elias backed away in horror. Then the girl pointed behind him. He turned and saw Walter Graves standing in the darkness, or what remained of him. His skin hung loose like wet paper, his jaw unnaturally wide, and his eyes completely black. Walter smiled. "You opened it." The lights upstairs suddenly died. Darkness swallowed the room. Then came screaming. The next morning, police arrived after neighbors reported strange noises. The farmhouse was empty. No Elias, no basement, no sign of anyone ever being there. But sometimes, late at night, Travelers passing through Black Hollow claim they hear knocking beneath the road. 3 slow knocks. Knock, 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 knock. And a little girl whispering, "Please, don't leave me here."